So we're underway?
Yep.
All right. Good morning, everyone. I'm Alex Vass. I'm a civilian member with the Royal Canadian Mounted Police in New Brunswick. New Brunswick, for those who are not familiar, borders Maine. So we're in the eastern part of Canada. We have a population in the province of about 800,000. We police a good majority of the rural sections of the province and 2 of the main municipalities, and there are 7 other municipal police forces that also work out of New Brunswick. So today we're talking about harnessing the power of social media to find a child sex predator. It's an historical case. It's not even a New Brunswick case, but what we were able to do was try and bring some attention to it, not just in our area, but around the world, and I'll walk you through what we did through my presentation. How do you advance that? Oops. So we'll also send out the tweet here shortly, but I'll give you a quick background on it.
There's the next slide.
Next slide. So as you can see up here, and if you want, can we make that just a little bit bigger? No. There we go. So as you can see, this is a John Doe number 8 is how I have described this particular individual. It's a file that dates back to 2005, and there were images found on the internet of this individual allegedly sexually abusing a young child. And what they've been able to do was pull just these 3 images in order to try and identify him. As you can see, it's not a heck of a lot. It's the back of his head, a slight kind of facial side view, and then also a ring and a mark on his arm. So what did we do? What did we want to do? I think you skipped ahead on me a little bit. Back, and keep going back. And one more. So as I mentioned, it's so what we ended up having was we knew what the perpetrator, or at least some images. We wanted to develop a plan in order to get more information, try and generate some tips. How did we roll it out? And then I'll talk about the results as we move forward. So as I mentioned, historical file, 2005, 8 to 9 years old. It wasn't an RCMP file at all. It came across the desk of our Internet child exploitation investigators in New Brunswick. Came to us and said, this isn't a New Brunswick file, but you guys are in communications. What can you do to help us maybe get the word out, generate some tips? What can we do for our investigators in order to raise awareness and generate some tips? So we took it, analyzed it, and discussed it, and figured, well, why don't we try and produce a video, make it go viral, and see what we could do. Go ahead. Because if you looked at going the traditional newspaper, television route, all we would get would be our own local audience. It's a population at most of 800,000 people. That's it. We wanted to go bigger than that. So we went, why don't we put it on our website, create a video, and then tweet it out and use Facebook to spread the message. And so that's what we did. So the objective, of course, generate the tips, grab people's attention, and then the other important part was ask them to share the information, the call to action, in other words, so that they knew what to do once they had that information. So what we did was we created the video. The whole idea of the video, demonstrate credibility, reliable information. So it wasn't just the images floating around and people going, well, where'd these images come from? Who's sending them out? Because once you start sharing, tweeting, and retweeting, you lose the actual source from the beginning. So we decided to create the video. And you want to play it?
We'll play it after we do the call to action here.
Okay. So next slide. So what did we do? Well, we created the tweets. We asked people to share. So RCMP asked people to share pictures of the suspect via social media, and we put in the link to the video, and it's on YouTube, on our YouTube channel. And that's what was instrumental there. So we put it on Twitter, we put it on Facebook, and as you can see on the Facebook side, 1,800 people saw the post. We had 18 shares, and it just grew and grew as the day rolled on. So what did we do? Well, the important thing here was repetition, believe it or not. It was what emphasized the importance of this. I think we've heard all throughout the conference about we're all getting tweets constantly, and our screen keeps moving up all the time. And if you're distracted doing something else, so you may not see the initial tweet, the initial Facebook post. So what we did was we put this out at 10:40 in the morning on September 17th. We went out on Facebook and Twitter, and in New Brunswick we are an officially bilingual province, so we have to put it out both in English and in French simultaneously. And what we did was we put it out at 10:40. 2 hours later, I retweeted it. Then at 4 hours after, put it out on Facebook. 2 hours after that, it went out again on Twitter. 2 hours after that, again on Facebook. So we alternated every 2 hours. So it was going out repetitiously for a 24-hour period. So you had 6 times it showed up on Facebook, 6 times it showed up on Twitter. In other words, every 4 hours, but we alternated it, assuming that some people follow us on both Twitter and on Facebook. And it paid off. What was interesting was we saw a comment on Facebook that said, "Oh, this is the second time I saw this. I think I'm going to share it now." So the first time it caught their attention, they read it and went, "Oh, that's interesting." The second time they recognized, "Hey, there must be something to this. I'm going to send it out again." So that was an interesting comment. So what did we do? We ran it solid for 24 hours, and then we ran it. This was a Thursday we launched it. Then we ran it once a day until the weekend. So we kind of finished out the weekend. The next week, so on the 24th of September, we put up a thank you. We provided an update so that anybody that was following it, tweeting it, or retweeting it would know the status. Where was it at? We had more than 100,000 people view the video in 1 week. So that was, we have 2 channels. So the English channel, we had about 66,000 views, and the French channel had about 56,000 views. The interesting thing about the French channel was it started off slow, and then as the week progressed, the tweets and the Facebook shares got into Quebec. Quebec is a predominantly Francophone province in our country. We saw the Francophone, the French video skyrocket. It just went boom, 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 boom. So as it rolls out, you saw where it was climbing and growing. And what it did was we told people, you know, did you watch it? If you watched it, you were one of the 100,000. We told people how many people watched it, so that if you hadn't seen it, you may have thought, oh, geez, if that many people watched it, it must be something to view, so I'm going to watch it. So it would have been a week later. And we did see a jump. So what happened with the repetition? Our average daily hits to our New Brunswick page is 10,000 hits. That's a day. 24-hour period from 10:40 on the 17th to 10:40 on the 18th, we had 159,000 hits. And we're a province of 800,000 people. We're very small. We have approximately 7,000 police officers in our province. So that gives you an idea of the value of the repetition and having something that you believe is important, and you ask people to share and retweet. Next slide. So here's the breakdown in the 24-hour period that we had. We had a reach of 117,000 on Facebook. The 79,000 on Twitter is actually counting up the number of people. The actual number of retweets was 250. But we ended up with 79,000 actual people that saw it and looked at it. 159,000 on our webpage. The YouTube video had 32,000 after 24-hour period, and it's grown. It's up to 130,000 roughly. The 5,800 number you see there is we also posted the video on our RCMP video page. So it got a small share. We linked it through our news release system, but the YouTube got the most views and really garnered the most attention. So then the Smile Conference last fall was around the 24th, 25th of the 26th actually of September, and Scott and I had been talking, and we asked them to do the retweet. This is what happened on the day Smile retweeted. We saw a spike in the number of posts. Actually, was the number when we tracked it. We had sent out our thank yous the same week. This garnered more posts than our own thank yous did. But again, it was a concentrated audience, and that's the key. if you can reach pockets of audience, your numbers will skyrocket. And this happened. We saw a big spike, and really appreciated that effort, because we really saw a pickup again on our YouTube videos.
That was a thanks in part to John Lancaster of the CBC and the National in Canada for airing it on the National that night. It became a national story in Canada, and it was a big deal. So,
and what was interesting was that it started to trend in Western Canada. For some reason, they hadn't seen it, and it started trending all through Alberta. If you're familiar with the province of Alberta, it started trending through there, so it was good to see.
So it's really interesting to note the power of traditional and social when you put it together. So traditional media is not dead. Social media augments it and adds a lot of tools for us.
It sure does. One of the things of interest is that as the tweets were rolling out and as we move forward, you never know who is going to read your tweet. One of the people that received our tweet was comedian Roseanne Barr. Roseanne Barr, I believe, is living in Hawaii and raising goats, if I'm not mistaken. Somehow, she saw our tweet. She retweeted it. She has 200,000 followers. We would never have thought that we would have reached that, but she had 200,000. The Massachusetts State Police, I think, have around 70,000. They attended the SMILE conference last year. Is it 40? And they retweeted it. Most on the analytical work I did, most Twitter followers have around 200. That's the average person. So if you can lock into some of these people that have big followers, big numbers, it will actually help you spread. But again, you don't know who's going to read it and who it's going to reach. But it's great to do that.
This guy's got 200,000.
70,000. What happened was.
Is that your last slide?
No, I got two, just the results and lessons learned, and then I'm done.
Okay.
So tell me.
We're good.
We're good. Okay. So the results. What happened? We did get tips. The tips poured into our investigators. I checked with them before I came here, and we are close to 50 tips. Now, of course, not all of them are solid, but there are a few there that the investigators think may have some meat to them. So they're going to start reaching out and checking and doing the investigative work on it. They were surprised. When the tips started rolling in, they thought we'd get some attention, but they never thought that we would see that kind of response and result. So they're very happy with it, and so are we from a comms perspective. So what's the lessons learned? Well, basically with the right message, you'll reach a worldwide audience within hours, and we saw that. We had, when we tracked it, we had hits from Australia, France, New Zealand, South Korea. It was around the world. And we couldn't believe it. And the other interesting point when we looked at it was a lot of them were coming from mobile. They were coming from handheld sets, not from desktops. So these are people in the community that are just looking at their Twitter feeds and Facebook feeds on their mobile device. Proper planning is important. We laid it out, the plan. This is what we wanted to do, a viral video. This was the frequency in which we wanted to send it out and how often. And as much as the repetition may seem like it was a lot, there were no comments, anyone on Twitter or Facebook saying, why are you still doing this? So we thought we hit the right sweet spot there with about every 4 hours with a message. Be ready for the media calls. We got them. We did send out one news release. One of the TV stations, CTV, which is the national broadcaster, their local station is the most watched station in the Atlantic provinces. Their story, when they put it online, had the most hits they've ever seen on one single story, which prompted them then to do a follow-up story the next day to see if we were getting the same kind of reaction. So that was unanticipated. We didn't think that was going to happen. So be ready for those media calls. Make sure you've got the bodies on there. And the other thing is, and I'm sure all the companies out here on the social media monitoring will appreciate this, make sure you have the proper tools in place. We still don't have the proper software and tools. All of the analyticals that I did was through Google Analyticals and me physically going into Twitter and clicking on accounts and seeing how many followers they had and doing the math by hand. So it took a lot of time, and if you've got the right monitoring tools, and I'll be talking to a lot of these companies to see what to do there, because that's so important in terms of the follow-up.
Perfect. Well, I'm just going to go back into our screencast here. We've got a bit of a call to action here that we're going to ask everybody to do.
And the call to action is important. When people get that information, they look at it and go, wow, that's important. But what you're doing by asking them to retweet it and to share is now you're asking them to participate in what's happening. They now have a role that they can play as individuals. It's simple. They just have to go retweet or share on Facebook or Twitter. But now they're contributing. They're a part of the action.
So, Joey, can you what do you see on your screen now?
I see you guys.
You see us?
Yes.
Okay. I need to somehow get that hang up. I seem to have lost my ability to actually see the hangout here, which is a bit of a problem. So usually the hangout is right down here somewhere, which I can't seem to find to actually get it. Oh, there it is right there. Okay, so you can see us.
I can see
So
you.
what I want to do now, you can see us. We've got another gentleman by the name of Scott Abrams with Crime Stoppers USA that should be with us in a matter of a few minutes. He is the person for Crime Stoppers USA, the overarching group that helps individual community Crime Stoppers programs around United States to connect with their local police services and the media for appeals like this for anonymous tips. I'm Scott Mills. I'm a Toronto police officer, and in a volunteer capacity, I help Crime Stoppers USA in a role called social media advisor. So I have access to their social media accounts, and what we have up here right now on Twitter, if we bring up our Twitter, is I'm going to try and share the screen if I can. So I'm going to go screen share, and it's not doing it quite the way I want. There's Scott Abrams. Scott, can you hear us?
Yes, I can. Thank you.
Okay, Scott, you're live to about 35 people here in Tampa, Florida. And where are you coming to us today from?
Today I'm back in Racine, Wisconsin.
And I've just explained who you are just before you joined in. You're the past chair of Crime Stoppers USA, and you're the social media person that's working on social media, and I'm your advisor. We're sitting here with Alex Vass from the RCMP in a room full of law enforcement and community people from around the world, including Chief Kariuki from Kenya. And we are going to rock out. We've got Joey Coleman here, from a crowd-funded journalist from Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, on the Hangout with us. And we are about to tweet on Crime Stoppers USA a call to action internationally to identify an alleged child sex predator. And Scott, I'd just like you to explain to the people about the anonymity of Crime Stoppers in 1 minute or less, so they know when they see that 1-800-222-TIPS on this thing. Oh, we lost him. Okay, he'll come back, but we're actually just going to do the tweet here so we can keep it rolling because we're running a bit short on time. So we've got the tweet prepared. It's what I call a power tweet, and right here, and I'm hoping that if I go up and screen share now, that screen share will actually come through onto the video. What's that? It is. Yeah. It's at the very end.
At the end, yeah.
Joey, can you see that?
I can see that.
Perfect. So that's the tweet we're going to put out. We're going to ask everybody in the room and outside of the room, our viewers online, including my mom, to try and retweet this. And the purpose why is we want to get information into Alex Vass.
Any police agency, because like we said, we don't know where this guy is.
So the tweet says, Alex, you compiled the tweet, and so tell them what's in the tweet.
It's pretty simple. Again, the call to action right off the beginning. Please, RT, please retweet. know this man seen in child abuse images. So we're grabbing their attention with a question, and then could be anywhere because we don't know where he is. That then makes people more aware, heightens their sense of awareness. Watch the video. So the link to our RCMP video on our YouTube channel, so that in one place you see all the information and hear all the information. And then, of course, the hashtag for SmileCon, because that's where we're generating it from, and helps all of you find it easier in order to retweet, especially if you're not following USA Crime Stoppers. So push tweet, and away we'll go.
All right, so I'm just going to minimize this on our screen here, and we are going to press tweet. And this is an exciting day because I'm hoping we're going to do another spike, and I'm hoping somebody's going to call the police or submit an anonymous tip to Crime Stoppers. And that is, I'm just going to click on the tweet about what it is. There's the Crime Stoppers USA account. It's just retweeted. You'll see it's coming up on the screen by Joey Coleman, who's actually online with us in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. There's what the tweet looks like.
And then we might as well show the video, and then we're done.
All right.
I'm done with. And so this was the video that we did. Very simple. Our media relations officer or PIO basically read the news release on the camera, and then we edited in those 3 images into the video, and it lasts less than 2 minutes.
You can see Mount Pleasant PD just retweeted it. Thank you. Joey, I was wondering if you might be able to help us on your end. Are you there?
I'm here.
Joey, is there, because this is a demonstration on the effectiveness of Google+, we want to finish this if we don't get Scott back. Scott, are you there or no? We haven't managed to have Scott on, but at least you saw his face. He's an amazing, amazing human being. And thanks for allowing us to do this on Crime Stoppers USA Twitter. But what Joey can do is click on that link, which is a bit.ly link to the video. Joey can actually help, because he's technically savvy on his end, to actually share this video into the Hangout. So Joey, are you able to do that? Are you able to bring the video up and play it and share it from your screen so that the people in the room here can see how that works?
Yeah, give me a second here. I just got to open a new window for that.
Okay, so what I've done is I've unclicked, if you see up here on the screen, there's on the side, there is a, right up here, there's a toolbar that just went off, of course, when you're trying to show something. So watch my cursor. Right here is the screen share button. This is a question and answer section that you could have open. You could actually take a picture of everything that's going on right now. It's called capture. So we just took a picture right there of what we're doing. And then when you're done on picture, you hit that picture again and you uncapture it. There's tons of different tools and apps you can add in here. There's a little button down here that actually allows you to share a YouTube video that Joey's about to use on his end. So he's going to share the video on his end on the Hangout. And this little thing right here, this little blue box, is your chat box. So we can actually bring a chat box up, and the people that are on the Hangout have the ability to talk back and forth behind the scenes so that you can give somebody a heads up about what's coming next, right? So right now, if Scott's having technical difficulties there, Joey just added the video. Welcome to YouTube and Hangouts. Okay. All right, Joey, are you playing?
I'm playing.
All right, we're not seeing it yet. There it is. For some reason, we're not getting audio on the video that's coming through.
Okay, 1 second. I know what the problem is there. I need to change my Hangout settings to change the audio to my speakers. Or actually, give me a second to try something else, because I've done a screen share there where I can add the video here to YouTube, and it should be able to play it here. Problem might be that at my end, I run my computer with some extra security protocols. So there may be something in the app that's getting caught by my security filter, and so I may not be able to actually share it just because of the way that I've set up my computer.
It's okay. The bottom line is we know where the video. We saw the video on here. We are running short of time on the organizational end of the conference here because we're 10 minutes over our schedule. So I think we've demonstrated what we want to demonstrate, that you can play that video. The video link is in the tweet, so everybody can go and watch the video on their own time. Also, when this video archives on the LawsCom YouTube channel, because we started this in Google+, but in Google+, on the Laws Communications Google+ page, it's connected to the Laws Communications YouTube channel. So this whole video that we've done here is now going to be archived immediately on YouTube, and we can go in on YouTube and actually put a text in everything in there and message it appropriately. The title of the video is everything, so we'll put that call to action that's in the tweet, we'll put it right on the video, and we're hoping that everybody will be able to watch this later that couldn't make it and be inspired by what's happened and really take it from there. So just in in closing, how many people here retweeted? We got quite a few hands. Just a quick shout out to people that did retweet it. I'd just like to know how many people do you think that you reached with your retweet? And if you guys, I'm just going to walk around to end this. If you've want to say something, put your hand up, and then we'll end the video. Anybody? We got one gentleman here. How many did you reach?
Hoping maybe 50, maybe more. Who knows?
50 people that this gentleman reached. Anybody else? Going to the back corner here. And this young lady here has reached
1,000 followers.
How many?
1,000.
Got 1,000 followers. Was that on a personal account or a professional account? Professional account. Yes, we have Fiona here from Peel Regional Police in Canada.
I tweeted it from my personal account, and Work retweeted it. I have 500 and some followers, and Work has 23,500.
Awesome. Thank you, Fiona. And Fiona's the person that we see all the time on TV back home.
And the great thing about it is it's the exponential growth of it. So depending, it doesn't matter whether you got 50 to 1,000 followers. Every one of those people have another 100 to 200 people as well.
We've got Tom here from Blue Alert US. Tom, how many did you reach?
I just sent it out to my 70,000 followers on our Blue Alert system.
Lori Stevens, Laws Communications, how many have you reached?
25,000.
25,000. That was on LawsCom Twitter. All right, and we got Barrie Police here from Canada.
8,000.
Thank you very much, Barrie. Anybody else at the back here? We've got Dion here. Dion, where are you from? What?
Richmond, Virginia. And I retweeted it from my account and the Richmond Police account, so that's 16,000.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Richmond.
Christy from Longview Police retweeted over 5,000.
Retweeted over 5,000. Long Beach. Thanks very much. Anybody else? Yes, we got a gentleman here. I think he's from. Where are you from?
New Zealand.
New Zealand. Where's that?
Oh, come on now. Well, we just retweeted on our district account, which is about 2,500, and we'll push it onto our national one as well.
Thanks, New Zealand. I got. There's a chief over here from Africa, Mr. Africa. How many people can you reach with Twitter and text?
That 5,000.
5,000?
No, that 4,000.
You got way more than that. I've been looking at your Twitter.
Yeah, keep on growing. I've not checked this morning.
This young man that's speaking here is a police chief in Kenya. He's got 40,000 people following him on Twitter, and he's got another 60,000 that are connected to text. And he's learning Twitter at this conference, and I've been helping him with it, and I can tell you that this is going viral. So thank you very much to everybody. Thank you, Joey. Just last word to Joey. What are you going to do on your end to make this push today back into Hamilton as a crowdfunded journalist?
Well, I've already asked my followers to look specifically at this tweet with a separate tweet that said RCMP is looking for our help because RCMP people in Hamilton know, and that to them is a very familiar brand, with a link to the tweet from Crime Stoppers USA asking people to take a look at it and share it.
Thanks very much. Thanks, everybody, for helping. Take care from Florida. 1-800-222-TIPS. Anonymous tips of Crime Stoppers. Or call the police in your area.